Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Gunfire, issue number 4 by DC Comics, created by Len Wein and Steve Erwin. So we continue from the last issue. Gunfire battled the guy named Purge. He won. He defeated him, and now he's on a train that is going downhill, and he's being thrown off, barely escaping with his life. So, and he falls into the trees, and that hurts him very, very much. So, and in this train is some experimental weapons from his father that's now been destroyed. So he calls his friends Ben and Yvette. So they have the RV. The RV is coming, and they are going home. And Yvette says, "I'm going to train you into, to try to defend yourself." Or try to, because there's a lot of enemies from Von Horn that wants him dead. But our main hero is a little bit cocky. He says, "Hey, I don't want to accidentally hurt you," but Yvette is a very good martial artist, and as you can see, he easily kicks his ass. And but Andrew, that's his real name, just makes some kind of a joke here, and she says, "No talking and get up faster. A real enemy won't wait." He kicks him in the face. Take that, Andrew. So Ben comes in, and he wants to show Andrew something because he found something on the computer. And but also there's something going on with Yvette. So she has some kind of a secret because Ben says something, and that she's being very upset by it, and she walks away. So meanwhile, a couple of minutes later or hours later, so it seems that Ben has found something in the computers of his father database and found some patents about something that can be used for good, but there's something wrong with that too, because he found a patent for a lightweight alloy, a system of specially designed automatic hinges and joints controlled by tiny microprocessors to create easy collapsible frames. Basically, hollow solids can be compressed to a fraction of the original size and volume. And when I look at this whole thing, it really reminds me of Transformers. And when he talks about, compressing things, very Transformer-like. But then he says something that I chuckled. Because he says, "The second thing I found was plans for a nearly inexhaustible electric battery." So Andrew says, "So what?" "Imagine electrical cars with a greater range than current models." And also says, near hollow cars with tiny computer electrical motors instead of bulky gas engines. Cars that could park everywhere or anywhere simply by compressing their bodies." So I chuckled because now 30 years later, we have now, more and more electrical cars. But as far as I know, unless I miss some information here, there is still no battery that has more range than, a normal car, that runs on petrol or, gasoline or diesel or whatever. 30 years later, technology is here, but we still not even there what he is suggesting. But I think it's funny that they are in the 90s talking about electrical cars. So it's just, something great. So then the driver, his personal assistant of Andrew, comes in and wants to take him to his new apartment. And you see Yvette Sylvan, "How considerate of you," in her very French language. So she's a little bit jealous, I guess. And then she says, the driver says, "I like your tail." And he says, "The feeling is mutual." "Oh, you mean my new ponytail?" "Not necessarily." I like all these sexual innuendo stuff that they have been throwing here. I mean, we don't see stuff like that anymore. This flirting, flirting openly. And I don't know. I just miss those days that things like this could be just, shown in comics without, people being offended or something. Really weird. So Andrew wants to invite her over for some, whatever. She says, no, I'm busy today. And she says, "Oh, okay. But I think she is also up to something. Not she is a good guy or a bad guy, but she is a secret as well. You know, like more layers. Then, when middle of the night, we have Agent or Lieutenant Riviera busting on the door of Andrew, and he says, I want to come in because last time I want to talk to you, you tried to evade me, and now I want to have answers about gunfire, because wherever gunfire is, Van Horn Industry is involved. But then he's being scanned by these guys, and who they are, not entirely sure for now, but it seems that this guy has been hooked up to a virtual reality set again. You know, we have now virtual reality. Well, sort of. Not. It's still in early development, I think. Still, but I love it that he's been hooked into some kind of a motion cap thingy, and then controlling something. I'm skipping a little bit here. I want to show you too much, but it says that before we go into this page, Lieutenant Riviera says it's. I think there's a gang war starting because there are several of Solomon's Perogias, that's some crime boss thing lord, bodies are on your property, and I want to know who's responsible for that, and what is your connection to gunfire. So then this, I believe, robot or whatever it is comes in and try to kill Lieutenant Riviera. And why? I'm gonna explain a little bit later. So he says, Andrew, get the hell out of here. This is police business. You let me do it. But he says, not a chance. Whoever this is, he just made it personal. And then he shoots at the robot, and Lieutenant Riviera is very surprised. So this costume or robot or android or whatever it is getting hit, and he needs to retreat. And it seems that this guy, who is connected, I believe, psychic linked or something like that, mental linked, has feeling pain, and he needs to get out. So he's losing altitude, and he says that he's going to collapse against the walls of this building. But then this guy presses some let's call him the operator, presses some button, and then the robot suit is folding in, and then he escapes. And also Andrew sees, what? The armor folded in on itself, like, yeah, going back to the pattern, the patterns that you have discovered recently. So he explains to Agent Rivera that he is basically gunfire, and but the lieutenant says, well, he's also hurt. As he says, Andrew, I cannot let you, run away from the crime scene. I have to bring you in. And he says, point taken, I'm coming with you. And he explains to these two cops that he is basically gunfire. I like that a little bit, because normally when it comes to superheroes, a lot of these superheroes excuse themselves, feeling sick, or, like Peter Parker and Superman did a long time ago. And then they are changing into their secret identities like Superman and Spider-Man. Andrew just wants to protect people, no matter if people find out who he really is. And he's laying it all out. He is confessing that he's gunfire. Yeah, I like that. Meanwhile, in the news, it says that there is 3 people are being murdered that has been connected to the organized crime task force. So, and it's some kind of a hitman kills them, and we figure it out that it's these guys that try to kill Agent Rivera, because he is also linked to the crime cases. So I think somebody hired those 2 guys to kill Agent Rivera because they are looking into some sensitive stuff, and they need him to get out of the way. So Ben comes in, and he figured it out that the compressed technology that his father has built, there was a client called Ulitech, and it's some Chicago-based firm called Metatech has made that technology. So they figure out the address, and they're going there. Now, I want to stay a little bit standing still about this panel. This really is, it's very small. It's very insignificant, but I like it a lot. Why? So they go to some kind of hideout secret door. quote unquote secret. And you see these lights here on top, right? So the door closes, and then all these light sources are shining down, or maybe from the upside up. It reminds me a lot of old science fiction movies when the whole room is getting dark, and then when people walk, the parts where they walk just light up. I don't know, it's just love it. And also they're coming out in this hangar with the super sci-fi van. Well, it's not really super sci-fi, but it reminds me a lot of those times when a very high-tech van with lots of weaponry and technology. I just don't know. I'm just a sucker for that kind of thing. So they drive in a couple hours. Too bad this is just a normal van. It's just, you know, some sci-fi looking van. But that's minor gripe. That's what I like. It's not what it needs. Anyway, moving on. So Ben says, well, you need to be careful if you're going to break in, because there's also some sensors and cameras. And so if you try to get in, there's also some motion detector. Then the alarms goes off. But then Andrew has an idea. He wants to use his powers to agitate the door here. So it's going to be short-circuited, and then he's, you know, going in. But I like the fact that he's still a newbie when it comes to the whole superheroing thing, and that he still doesn't control his powers. So it goes wrong. The door blows up, and then the bad guys get an intruder alert. And he's going in, and there was some kind of a rent-a-cop there, and then wants to take him in and said, hey, you need to come out, and you are trespassing. And then there's an explosion, and then the android, or the power suit, the assassin suit coming, and he wants to kill Gunfire. Also like the perspective from the robot side. You see he has this I don't know, visor thing here, and then we see it from his side shooting him. And then Andrew picks up the hand of a mannequin, and he shoots at him with the hand. It would have been more fun when it was like this, like shoot, pew, 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 instead of this hand doing this. But yeah, small things. So Agent Rivera is getting a call from Ben, and he's now here, knocking on the door of the van, and he says, "What's going on here? Why you are doing it? You're trespassing. And where is Andrew?" He says, "Selling cookies door to door." Yeah, there's some small light humor in here. Anyway, so the lieutenant, goes in, and there's a fight between the assassin and Gunfire, and he shoots him into the elevator shaft. So Agent Rivera goes to the computer control room, and he says, "You're gonna need to stand down, or it's gonna be trouble." And this guy pulls his gun and he shoots him. But also Agent Rivera, who was already shot, gets another bullet in his leg. And so Andrew comes in, but also the assassin. It looks great. It's just great stuff. Oh, Dark Stars. Is this any good? Still don't know. Anyway, so so the end is near for whoever. So Andrew shoots the control panels, but the robot or the power suit is still coming, and he picks up Gunfire and throws him outside of the building, and he says, "Before I drop, gonna complete the contract." And then the lieutenant shoots at the controls. He says, "No, stay back. This has to work." And we see the warning override disabled. It has to. And the last page is here that there's a scream, and Andrew pulls himself in, and Agent Rivera is still alive. But what happens? This is happening. So he hit the control panel with his bullet, and then the compression happens, and it seems that this guy is not, connected to the VR suit, but he actually climbed in, and the suit has crushed him, and we see all the blood seeped out. Oh man, it's gruesome stuff. I can't imagine. So at the end, Andrew says, "Come, let's get out of here. I'm getting worried about Ben." "Don't be," says Lieutenant. "Your friend is fine. And one more thing." "Yeah? You're under arrest for criminal trespassing." "Rivera, I don't think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." Oh man. So why am I still reviewing a C-list or D-list character? because the writing is so good. There's no, everything is connected. Everything makes sense. The art is good. The writing is good. I like the fact that Andrew is still in his, developmental stage, becoming a hero, and that he just has the need of that his friends actually assist him. So he needs his friends to do his superhero work properly. He's not a cocky guy, although he's a little bit arrogant here and there, but he's going to learn his lesson, and that he's still not in control of his full powers. It's just, I don't know, it's just smart writing. There's a lot of layers in here with a lot of secrets, and it's not only mechanical villains he's going to battle, because in the next one he's going to battle the exomorphic man. So yeah, more stuff coming soon with this series. So yeah, I keep reviewing it, and because I have fun with it, and that's the most important thing. Guys, 50 minutes in, 16. I'm closing down. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.